Hi everybody. Thank you for joining me this afternoon as I give you part one of my two-part class, which is, the first part is going to be designing for sublimation. So I'm going to be doing some things that I don't normally do when I go live. We're going to be doing some stuff in Corel, we're going to be doing some stuff in Photoshop, and then also just kind of, I know a lot of the substrates are kind of have odd shapes, or they may be a little hard to design for, so we're going to go over all that stuff. And then tomorrow we're going to go into marketing for sublimation success. And tomorrow we're going to do the class, but we're also going to do some other things that can kind of help you out in this kind of weird time that we're in. But I want you guys to notice this coupon code up at the top of the screen. So if you would have been able to come to my class in Irving, you would have received this coupon code for, I think it's $25 off your next order of $100 or more. So because we didn't have that, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you now. So you can use this for call-in orders, or you can use this on the website. So you just have to place a $100 order, and then you get $25 off of it. And this is just to kind of thank you guys for, staying with us. And, I know the MVM show was canceled, so I know of a lot of you guys were looking forward to this class, and I was looking forward to this class. So we're just going to jump into it. I'm trying to look at both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So if I do not get you, I see you, Justin. So if I don't get your comment, just ask it again, and I'm trying to check my phone to make sure that I can see all you guys. Okay, so I know this is a weird time for everybody. We're going to try to keep a little bit of normalcy. So I know a lot of you may be stuck at home or will be stuck at home soon. So I'm just going to give you some things to kind of work on, some things to play with, just to kind of stay busy. So like I said, the first thing we're going to talk about is designing for sublimation success. So I'm going to hop over to my PowerPoint presentation. We're going to be going back and forth quite a lot here, so you guys can still see me, but here's my beautiful title screen. Isn't it nice? Thank you, Martha. I'm actually really glad I'm doing this too. Okay, so like I said, today I'm going to be talking about some design tips. So this is going to include some web resources, which I just absolutely love. And then I'm also going to show you just a couple of tips and tricks in Corel and Photoshop. And please go easy on me on the Photoshop. It is not my forte. I'm much better in Corel Draw, but I know a lot of you also use Photoshop. So I'm going to try my best to show you how to do it in Photoshop. For those of you that use Silhouette, a lot of what I'm doing actually translates very well into Silhouette. And so yeah. Okay, so let me get my mouse. All right, there we go. Okay, so what is Condé Systems? Well, a lot of you already know, but we are a technology developer and distributor of sublimation and heat transfer equipment, printers, and supplies. We've been in business for 27 years. We are located here in beautiful Mobile, Alabama, where it's about 80 degrees right now, so that's nice. We work with artists and entrepreneurs to expand their current product offering by allowing them to produce full-color photographic quality gifts and awards. And we also help them every step of the way. So if you're a current Conde client, you already know we help you from the moment you place your first order, setup, tech support, everything. So we are always there to help. Our little tagline is, the better you do, the better that we do. So your volume could go up a tad. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Let me see if I can figure this out a little bit. All right. Let me know if that's any better, because I just maxed out my volume. So Martha, let me know if that's better for you. I'm going to switch back to Facebook. Oh, hey, Chad. My husband's watching. Love that guy. All right, so the code is good for, that's a good question, Marnie, or Margaret, excuse me. The code is good for until the 31st of this month. So you have until March 31st to use that code. Now keep in mind, we also do have another code, which is for our spring promotion. And that code is $25 off your order of 200, and you can use that one time, and then you can also use the NBM 2003 code one time. But in addition to that spring coupon, we've got 30 items on flash sales, 30 really, really good items. So check that out as well. Okay. So who am I? Well, a lot of you guys know me already, but for those of you that don't, my name is Sprite Wood. I am the Director of Marketing here at Condé Systems. I've been at Conde for about 5 years. I've been a sublimator for 10 years, and I've been a graphic artist for 20 years. I started doing Corel when it was just version 3. I'm now on version 21, so, you know. But I teach at webinars and trade shows in our open house about marketing and sublimation, and you know, and of course you guys see me on the live every Friday or on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is incredibly relevant. It has thousands of instructional videos. The videos are about how to create products, how to use your design software, and also how to market and sell your products. So if you are not subscribed to our Conde TV page, please do so. And I think, Eddie Greer, if you look at the screen, your name is up there, and I see that you are watching me right now on YouTube, so I think that's pretty funny. Okay. All right. So next screen. What is sublimation? So sublimation is the process of a solid turning into a gas without transferring to a liquid state. So in simple terms, we print with a special kind of ink that when heated turns into a gas and then permeates into the special coating of a blank product. So this gives you the ability to reproduce full color photographic designs almost immediately with minimal setup cost and effort. So, you know, it's a lot different than screen printing. It's a lot different than a lot of processes because it is on demand and it is almost immediate. Yes, Eddie, you are very special. All right, so what are you going to need to do sublimation? Well, there's a couple of things. You're going to need a printer, you're going to need a heat press, and you're going to need a convection oven. So we have all different sizes of printers. We have the desktop model, which can print as small as 3.5 inches wide up to 14 inches wide. We have large format printers, which can print 104 inches wide. So what this does is this is going to allow you to start small without having to invest a lot of money in startup. So we have different stages for different stages of your business, right? So if you're just starting out, you can get a small printer. If you're well established, you get one of those big boys and you go. But if you are just starting out and you do get some orders that are bigger than you have equipment for, or maybe the volume is too large, we also have a print service department where they can do all of that for you. And my print service guys made this really great video, and I'm going to let you guys watch it right now. So I don't know if you can hear it, so I'm going to assume that you can't, and I'm just going to talk over it. It's just music anyways. So this is one of our Epson printers. This is our large 4-foot format Epson SureColor. And what we're doing right now is we're doing the coasters for David's Mardi Gras ball, which we had a lot of fun at. And then so this is Antoine. Antoine's been with us for about 15 years. And basically what he did is he has it set up for 100 coasters. And he printed a page of 100 coasters with no image, so he knows where to put the coaster. And I've had a lot of people comment that we missed 2 spaces, and yes, I know my OCD has killed me about it, but we ran out of coasters to do, and that's just what happened. So normally we would have had every space full, but for this one, we missed 2. So he has the coasters lined up on the blank bottom sheet. Then he just takes that printed sheet, lines it up on top of it. We use a special high-tack paper from Beaver So the heat actually makes the adhesive, activates the adhesive, and it sticks to the product, so you don't have to use Pro Spray. I've had a lot of people ask me if we have this product in sheets, and unfortunately, no, it only comes in the rolls. But you see he's just lining up the top paper to the bottom paper because they should both be the same. One has an image, one doesn't. And then he presses it, and you get this really, really beautiful reveal. I hope I'm not frozen. Miriam says I'm frozen. You guys let me know. And now he just pulls back, and look at that. So he did, it should have been 100 coasters, but it was 98 coasters, and it took him about 5 minutes. So, you know, this is what Antoine's really, really good at. Like I said, he's been doing it for a long time, and you know, so if you have that order that you're not able to fulfill, let us know. We can do it for you. So you saw that big maxi press he was using. In addition to the maxi press, we have a lot of other different heat presses. You have, am I frozen? Oh, now I'm sad. Well, am I frozen on YouTube as well? Okay, so I have a couple people saying to just switch to YouTube. Okay, there we go. Facebook started working again. You know, you just go live and everything just breaks. That's just what's happening. So, well, is it? All right, guys, if you're on Facebook and it's frozen, just switch over to YouTube. I apologize. I don't know what happened. So, all right, we're going to go back to YouTube. Okay. All right, I hope you guys are watching YouTube. All right, so like I said, we've got the maxi press. We also have a lot of other size presses. You know, we have our DK32, our DK25, our DK20, and then we have our crafter presses. So, you know, different presses are designed for different applications. Our large ones are obviously designed for larger runs, larger products. The smaller press is really good for like craft fairs and flea markets. You know, so once again, you have lots of different, we also have specialty presses for like hats and mugs and things like that. So whatever your starting point, your price point is to start, we have a press for you. Whatever niche you're in, we also have a press for you. So the last piece of equipment that you may want to consider is a convection oven. So tomorrow I will be doing some demos with the convection oven, and you guys know I have my little Hamilton Beach that I get from Walmart, which I absolutely love. But in addition to that, we have, you know, huge tunnel ovens. We have like big convection ovens that are like the size of, oh, I don't know, washing machines, and those are really fun. You know, so different starting points again. So, you know, you can have a minimal startup cost, or you can have a large startup cost, depending on what your business is going to entail. All right, in addition to the equipment, oh, thanks, Nicole. In addition to the equipment, you're also going to need some consumables. So off the top, you're going to need sublimation paper. And the reason you need sublimation paper, so I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about using copy paper for sublimation. And can you? Yeah, you can. But what's going to happen is the copy paper doesn't hold the dot gain like sublimation paper does. So when you're doing like really fine detail or like really fine script or a font, like a really small font, you're going to want to use that sublimation paper. And so I'm actually going to show you guys right now, if I can find my mouse. There we go. So I have this mug, right? And I don't know if you guys can see it. So let's see if I can get a little closer. So this mug has a 6-point font on it. And can you see how clear that is? So this is done with sublimation paper. If I were to do this with copy paper, all of this would be really blurry, and you know, it's not going to hold because it's such a fine point. So this is why you want to use a good sublimation paper. Okay. All right. In addition to sublimation paper, you're going to want sublimation ink. There's a lot of different sublimation inks out there, but you know, it's very important that you get a good sublimation ink that's going to have, you know, it's not high viscosity, but that has a good, you know, that, so you're not using a lot of ink every time you print. So the ink has, you know, ink management, and the SubliJet ink is really, really good at that. You're also going to need heat tape. We recommend our Gold Premium heat tape. It just, what's the word I'm looking for? It allows heat to go through it. There's a word for that. No, it's not coming to me. It allows heat to go through it well, and it will also allow you to sublimate through it. So if you have an image and you have to tape over the image, because it conducts heat well, that's the word I was looking for, because it conducts heat well, then you can actually tape over your image. For instance, if you're doing a full bleed mug and you're not going to get any white spacing underneath it. Okay, so one of my favorite new things is our SubliShrink, and I know you guys have seen me do it over and over and over again. You'll see me do it tomorrow, but it is really one of the most cutting edge technologies that we're offering right now in sublimation. Hey, Mom. So, you know, and it allows you to do everything from shot glasses to dog bowls. I mean, it's just so versatile, and it's allowing you to do things that we've never been able to do before. So tomorrow, we'll do that demonstration. If you're going to use the SubliShrink, you got to have a heat gun. The heat gun is what conforms the SubliShrink to the product, so you get that nice pressure, and you don't get the dye migration where the dye just goes out into the ether. It stays right there near the substrate. And there's other stuff that you're going to need depending on what you're sublimating. Slate requires a heat conductive rubber pad, shirts require foam, cutting boards require Nomex, so on and so forth. So it's a really good reason why you should have a good relationship with your Conde account rep, because, you know, a lot of times you may buy a cutting board and not realize that you need something to go with it, and your account rep, they know that information. So, you know, call your rep, let them know, hey, I'm buying this, what do I need with it? Shoot them an email. They're more than happy to help you. All right, moving right along. So once you have all of your substrates and your equipment, you're gonna need a graphics software. So there's a lot of different graphic softwares out there. They all pretty much work the same way, so use what you know. If you know Photoshop, if you know Illustrator, if you know Corel, if you know Silhouette, if you know Creative Studio, whatever you know, that's what you use. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here and, you know, figure out a brand new thing just because you see that I use Corel or David uses Photoshop. Use what you know. So Creative Studio is really good. It comes with the SG800, it now comes with the SG500 and 1000s. It's a cloud-based designer, so if you haven't gotten into graphic design yet, Creative Studio is a really, really good starting point for you. How often do we need to print during this downtime in order to keep our ink good? Oh, good question, Linda. So actually, you don't have to print. You don't have to continue to print at all. You just want to make sure that you keep your printer on. If your printer stays on, it will do the required maintenance, and it'll keep the ink lines clean, and you don't have to do anything. So you don't actually have to print, especially if you have a Sawgrass printer. They do their own maintenance. Now, if you have an Epson, you may want to print just once a day, print a test image, you know, something that's going to use all the colors, just to make sure you keep that ink moving through the line. Oh, there you go, Keisha. We were on the same page on that one. Yeah, I guess my YouTube is just down. Okay, I guess my YouTube is just down, and I apologize. Okay, so once you have all the basics out of the way, it's time for you to start designing. And I know for a lot of you that is a very daunting task. So we try to make it as easy as possible, and one of the ways we make it easy is by CondeDesign.com. So CondeDesign.com, let's see if we can go to it real quick. Let's see. I have so many screens up. Here we go. So Conde Design. So Conde Design is our, all that virus stuff. Conde Design is our design website where you can buy all kinds of patterns. You guys see all these really cute patterns that Zach has made. The patterns run about $2.99 a piece. When you get them, they come in a CDR for Corel, a PDF for Illustrator, a JPEG for Creative Studio and Silhouette, and then also a PSD for Photoshop. So no matter what program you're using, Conde Design will work for you. And like I said, they run about $2.99, but occasionally we'll have like a pattern set that might run $7.99. So, all right, let's go back to my Corel before I lose it. Okay, so one of the amazing things about the Conde Design is that you can use the same pattern multiple different ways. So once you, oops, I missed the, it's a lot of screens, guys. I'm trying to keep it all together. There we go. So once you own the pattern, once you buy the pattern, you own it. And you can use it as many different ways as you want. You can change the colors as many different ways as you want. You can sell it as many times as you want. The only thing that you cannot do is sell the pattern itself to another individual as a pattern that you've created. But you can sell it to your customers and print it on something. You can change the designs, no big deal. So, excuse me, just a tickle. So on the screen, you see I have the same design done two different ways. And to look at those two products, you don't think that's the same design because of the color being different and just the little bar on the bottom. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys how to change the color of this pattern in both Corel and Photoshop. So let's go back to that screen. All right, so I've got CorelDRAW open right now, and this is my pattern. This is exactly how it comes over from Conde Design. I just opened the CDR file, and you can see that right here. It's MoroccanDrops.cdr. So basically, I just want to change the colors, and we make it really easy. All of the colors are grouped together. So I'm just going to look here at my three different groups. I'm going to click on one, change the color, click on the next one, change the color, click on the next one, and change the color. And now I have a completely customized design. You know, so one of the things that you can do with this is you can, with this is you can, you know, create the pattern in a bunch of different colors, print it out, and let your customer choose from which color they like. Or one of the things that I like to do is I'll take a picture and I'll eyedrop the colors from the picture and change the design to kind of match the picture. And I'm going to show you guys that in a minute, kind of photo framing and how that works. So there's a lot of things you can do here. Keep in mind that the more options you give your customers, the less likely they are to pick an option. So keep your options small, but keep your colors interesting. And we're going to go over that in a minute too, because I know how hard it is to find 3 or 4 contrasting colors that work well together. So I've got a trick for that too. Okay, so that's Corel, which I know, no problem. Now we're going to try to do it in Photoshop. And if you know better than what I'm doing, please leave a comment because I'm just getting by as best as I can. Okay, so we're going to go to Photoshop now, and I'm going to open the Moroccan Drops PSD file. So the way that I do this, and it may be wrong, I don't know, Nicole's probably up there going, gosh, Brian, I can't believe you do it this way. I will just double click on the layer, go to color overlay, and then change the color to whatever I want it to be. I actually like that green better. So I say, okay, okay, go to my next one, double click, go to color overlay, change the color. Let's go a little bit bluer. Say okay, and then finally do the same for my bottom layer. Make that one a little darker, and then there you go. So that's how I changed it in Corel. That's how I changed it in Photoshop. Your way is probably better, but you know, like I said, you use what you know, how you know it. So yes, Sprite, easy peasy. Well, thank you, Quince Mom. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So now that you know how to change the pattern, let's talk about why you want to change the pattern. So one of the great things that these patterns are for is backgrounds for monograms. So what's trending, what trended last year and what is continuing to trend this year is what's called maximalism. So maximalism are vibrant, happy patterns and colors, and a lot of them. You know, if you go to some of these like Architectural Digest and you see how people are decorating their homes, they have, you know, big floral patterns with lots of different patterned accessories, and it's just a lot of mismatched patterns that, you know, to look at it one piece at a time, you think this is never going to look good together, but when they put it all together, it looks fantastic, and it's just maximizing color, maximizing vibrancy, and, you know, and it sells. So keep that in mind, because it used to be stay simplistic, you know, minimalism is in, and that is not the case anymore, which is great for us in our industry. Linda asked if this video will be available on YouTube, and yeah, it's going to be on our channel. So, okay. I am creating graphics for a commercial product. Can I utilize your designs on the product in great number? Absolutely, Cheryl Brown. Yes, ma'am, you can. You can use it once you own it. Once you buy it, you own it, and you can use it a million times if you want to. So yes, without a doubt. Hi, Jeff. You're the man still. Okay, so let's talk about, do I have a background, a monogram? Oh, monograms are incredibly easy to make money on because people like their names on things, and they also like to be able to pick a background. So once again, you have, you know, 5 or 6 background patterns. They can pick the background, then they can put their monogram on it. Let's go to my little zoom camera. Megan, if you're watching, I have a zoom camera. So, you know, here's an example of one, and then here's an example of another one. So this right here, this is a name box, which we sell on Conde Design. I think, yeah, it's called name box. And then this is a pattern we sell on Conde Design. And, you know, I could have just put the name there, but we're adding value. We're going a little more. We're adding a monogram or a name. It makes it really, really easy to do with Conde Design. You don't have to worry about creating background patterns or anything like that. Okay. I have like 8 screens and it's hard for me to find where my mouse is. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, Megan. Okay, Quince Mom, I see you, girl. All right, so the next thing that I'd like to talk to you guys about is offering photo frame options. So this is something that's really simple, but I don't think that a lot of people think about it a lot. So, you know, using the same pattern that, you know, you've bought from Conde Design or from wherever, you know, and then adding a photo to it. So you're not just giving someone a photo, you're actually adding value by giving them artwork and a photo. So let's go back to Corel for a second, and I'll show you guys kind of, it's a really, really easy thing to do. So here we go. Okay, so I'm here back in Corel, and I've got my little design. And let's say I'm going to do an 8x10 piece of metal, right? So I went over here to my rectangle tool. I'm just going to draw a rectangle, change my size to 8x10. Okay, I'm going to stick it here in the center. I'm going to right click on my image and go to power clip inside, and I'm just going to power clip it in there. Okay, so now I've got my 8x10 with my artwork behind it. So now all I'm going to do is create another square, or rectangle, excuse me, and place it in my pattern, turn it white, and then what I'll do is if I have a photo, I just drop my photo in there. I can also, so let me grab a photo for you guys real quick. So this is good. We'll just go ahead and do this. All right, so I'm going to import my photo from where I just downloaded it at, which, let's see if I can find it. I guess it should be under downloads. Nope, pictures. There we go. All right, so I've got this picture here. Resize it a little bit, make it smaller. And I'm going to fit it. So as you can see here, I have my my rectangle, I have my power clipped rectangle, which has my design in it. I have my photo image, and then I have my rectangle that I want my photo to fit in. Well, I want to be able to see my rectangle over my photo, so I kind of know where my where my parameters are. So I'm just going to take it, drag it, and place it above it. So now you can see, you can see that I can see where my box is. So I'm just going to take my photo and shrink it down. So by holding down Shift, I shrink everything, top, bottom, and sides all at the same time. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to right-click, power clip inside this little box right here, and there we go. Now, my colors don't really match, right? So what I want to do is I want to use my eyedropper tool, and I want to eyedrop some of the colors here in this. So I kind of like this dark green. Let's go back. Let's do a different one. Let's do like a lighter green here. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. There we go. Let's do it this way. So let's go here and let's find some colors. So there's a good color added there. Here's another good color that added there. Let's do one more, and that's a good color. So now I can go back to my pointer tool, click on one, and change the color. Click on the next one, and change the color, and then click on the final one and change the color. And so now, I know it doesn't look the greatest, but it matches my photo, and I think that that's pretty cool. Somebody asked if you can add text. Absolutely. So to add text, you just go here to your text tool, type in whatever you want. And then you can change your font up here, make it something cute, or, just kind of something that fits. Place it in your frame, make it bigger, center it up. You can do, all different kinds of outlines. So to do an outline, you would just right-click on a color, and that's going to give you the outline. Then your outline will be down here. You double-click on it. You can set the parameters. You can set the width of it. This is hairline. Let's make it 4. You can set the way the corners look. You can do it behind the fill or it's on top of the fill. You can see that change as I click. And then you can also scale it with the object. So now you have this looking like this. Okay. Let's see if we can go back to our PowerPoint now. So that's the photo frames. Really good way to increase your revenue. Instead of just offering a photo, now you're offering a photo with a customized graphic behind it. So really cool, really great way to increase your profits. All right. The other way to increase your profits is with great designs and full designs. So you guys can see I've got a $5 mug. Everybody loves mugs. Everybody loves mugs with their name on them. It's an easy product to do. Everybody loves them. The next mug I have is a $15 mug. Also a great mug. It's even better. Now your customer can pick their design. They can pick their colors. They can pick the way their font looks. It's great. That last mug, that $25 mug, that's a mug that no one is going to be able to get anywhere. They're not going to be able to image under the handle, on the handle, full customization, full color range, font choice, top to bottom. I mean, you increase your profit by offering more. The great thing about sublimation is the difference in cost between that $5 mug and that $25 mug is nominal. It's maybe a couple of cents in ink and maybe 10 minutes in labor. So not even 10 minutes in labor. You know, so it's, I mean, it's the same imaging technique, it's the same time and temperature. All you've done is increase the value by adding a little bit more coverage area, and then also by just adding that design element. Okay, I think there's a lag between what I'm seeing on Facebook and what you guys are seeing. I do want to show you my, let's go back here, because I have this mug, and this is actually one of my favorite mugs. So I gotta walk around again so you guys see this. I mean, this is pretty fantastic here. This, you know, under the handle, on the handle, you know, full top to bottom. And we're going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys how to do this if you haven't seen it yet. You know, this is one of those patterns on Conde Design, $2.99. So, good deal. All right. Let's see where I'm at. There we go. Okay. All right. One of my favorite ways to increase value in sublimation is to offering unique products that are going to set you apart. So stacked metal, definitely one of those things. I've got here, let's see, I had to set a table up for all my stuff behind me. So let's go back to my, all right, so here we go. I've got a $10 photo panel, right? Great. Everybody loves this. It's beautiful. You know, they'd love to hang it up in their house. It's great. The problem is you have 50 other companies out there that's offering this exact same thing, sometimes for cheaper than you're offering it. So the way to get people to look at you is to look different, as you can tell. So what do? We stack it. So this is this top piece is the exact same piece, right? I added a $2.50 mounting block and a $6 piece of metal. So I added $8, and now I have a product that not only are going to make people look at it, but it's also increased at least $30 in profit. I mean, you know, we're charging $10 for the single one, or we're charging $30 for this one, or $40 for this one. And $40 is actually kind of low end. Because, I mean, you think about something like this, this is art. You know, this isn't just, I mean, this is something that nobody else has. They're going to see it, they're going to want it, and it has that perceived value when really you didn't add too much to it at all. So we're going to talk a little bit more about stacking metal. Okay, so stacking metal. There's a few things to keep in mind when you stack metal. The first is your image. Do you have a photograph that has a good focal element that can be taken out and stacked? So this one that's on the screen right now is a really good one. You know, it has a great focal point that can be broken out 3 or 4 different times. Now you have to keep in mind that you are going to be limited to the size metal that you have. So let's go over to Corel and I'll show you guys kind of how let's play find the mouse. There it is. Okay, so we're going to go over here to Corel. All right, so this is my image, and this is exactly how I got it from iStock. So, you know, right now it's 21 by 14. Okay, so let's say I have 3 different sizes of metal. Let's say I have 11 by 17, 8 by 12, and 4 by 4. So I want to make this work with those 3 sizes. So the first thing that I want to do is draw out my boxes. I've got a 14 by 11. I also have, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So I have, this is a 14 by 11. This one is, what did I say, 8 by 12, so 12 by 8. And then I also have one more, which is a 4 by 4. Okay, so all I have to do now is line them up. Okay, well, I want to make my back image smaller because I really want it to fit in that 9 by 12. So And then it's just a matter of fitting it where you want it to fit. You know, keep in mind that this is art, and art doesn't have to be perfectly uniform. The piece that I'm going to show you guys that I have completed is actually a little off center, and you would never notice that because that's not the focal point. The focal point is the beauty of the photo and the way it is stacked. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, so excuse me. Okay. Oh, good question. What do you use to get the metal to stick together? So I have this block here that has adhesive tape on one side, and then on the other side I use E6000, and I like the E6000 because once I lay it down and I place my metal on it, it's not an immediate bond, so I can move it around until I get it perfect, and then I let it sit for 24 to 48 hours, and then it's bonded permanently. Yeah, it's just E6000. And the mounting blocks we do sell from Unisub. Okay, so back to this. So I've got my image. I want to make it fit just a little bit more. So okay. All right. So you guys see me power clip all the time. But I want you to keep in mind that I'm kind of old school when it comes to Corel, so there's a few things that I do that are different than what other people do, and this is one of them. And so instead of actually power clipping, what I'm going to do is what's called welding. So I have my box selected. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to select my image, and then I'm going to go up here to intersect. Okay. So now what I've done is I have intersected the box to the image and created a new one, okay? Now, the reason I did that is because I'm going to do the same thing for all three pieces. So now I'm going to take my second piece and I'm going to line it up where I think it should go. So I have my box selected. I'm going to hold down Shift, grab my original image, and intersect it again. And then I'm going to do that one more time for the 4x4. And I like it to be right here with the sun. So my box is selected, hold down Shift, select the outer image. So now I can delete that back image, and I have all three of my images ready to print. So, easy peasy. The only thing that I didn't do, which you guys have to do, is this is not a 4x4. This should be a 4.25 by 4.25. So I apologize. I should have done that originally. Instead of setting up an 11 by 17, it should have been 11 and a quarter by 17 and a quarter. Excuse me. Okay. So there's that on how to break it apart in Corel to stack the image. I have no idea how to do it in Photoshop. I apologize, but I'm sure that there are videos out there of how to do it in Photoshop. Alrighty then. So, okay. So, oh, and then here, I do want you guys to see it. If you haven't seen this piece in person, it is actually a fabulous piece of art. So, where this back piece would be, you know, so this piece not stacked is probably, you know, a $60 piece. This piece with all of the stacking, this is about a $300 to $400 piece of artwork. You know, you're really, really, really adding to the value, and just by barely increasing the cost. So these are Chromolux panels. I've got a 11 by 17, I think, 8 by 10, and 4 by 4. So, yeah, I know, this is really, I mean, and this is the kind of stuff that, you know, you put this in your store to get people to come into your store. You know, you make pieces like this to post on your Facebook page to get people to go, wow, what is that? Let me look at the other stuff they have. You know, this might be out of someone's price range, but it might not be out of someone's price range either. So, you know, we're always trying to tell you, think outside the box, do things you're uncomfortable with, because those things turn into revenue, you know, just like this. I love this piece. It's one of my favorites. Okay, moving right along, guys. All right, and there is the piece all complete. So here's another instance of a good photo to be stacked. It has a really clear focal element, you know, that can be taken out, and the background is can be broken up cohesively so it still looks good. So this is another example of a really good stackable image. So these are not really good stackable images for the method that we just did. So, you know, they're not going to be a good candidate for that first method, but they will be a good candidate for this method, which is stacking a photo over a patterned background. So basically what you're doing here is you're just adding a photo frame, but you're doing it with sublimation, which is fully customizable. So once again, you can change the pattern to match the photo. You know, you can change the pattern colors to match the photo colors, and that gives you a lot more versatility, and you're still adding a tremendous amount of value to your product. A good rule of thumb, you know, depending on the size of your piece, is to make your background piece at least 2 to 4 inches larger than your centerpiece, and that's going to give you a good, you know, good area all the way around it. Paula asked, what's on the back for hanging? So on these, I have the Chromolux mounting blocks, and then on this piece, I also have Chromolux mounting blocks, but they're the metal ones. So we sell all this. If you go to our drop-down menu, it's under Chromolux mounting accessories. And they're cheap, too. They're like $2 or $3. So, all right. So another good thing to keep in mind is using different metal finishes that give your art a contrasting look. And I talk about this a lot, is, you know, learning what looks good on different metal finishes. And I really like to play with this on the stacked metal because I feel like it gives even more depth and even more of like an artistic value to what you're creating. Yes, Chromolux metal accepts sublimation ink. Yes. So this first example is like a matte back with a gloss clear front, and it really just kind of pops it off. And then the second image, which I absolutely love, is a gloss clear, a semi-gloss in the, I'm sorry, it's gloss clear in the back and semi-gloss white in the front. And so what that does is it, you know, it really, really kind of pops off that center piece. And I've got this pineapple one to show you guys because it's one of my favorite pieces also. I can say that forever. Oh, it's one of my favorite pieces. What's one of my favorite things to do? I love this piece. This is fantastic. So this is a $150 piece of art. You know, let's say you work with your local artists and they want, you know, they want to do something kind of out the box. This is the thing to do. You know, you have them do their artwork, sublimate it on metal, and then sublimate it to a contrasting background. Or if you are an artist out there, this is a really good thing to do. It's a lot of fun, and it is a really, really, really high value for low cost. So, all right. One last thing, guys, and that is designing for a curve. So taper drinkware is incredibly popular right now, and to do taper drinkware, you have to know how to design for the taper. So I'm going to show you guys this mug that I have here in front of me. So this mug right here, this is a $35, $40 mug, right? Fully customizable top to bottom. This is the mug that you go to Starbucks and you see what they're selling, because they're selling these mugs. They're selling these tapered mugs with the full imprint all the way around top to bottom. Now, because this is a curved mug, you have to curve the artwork to match it. If you can see this line, it goes all the way around. Let's see see if I set it down. Well, you can't see it there, but this line goes all the way around the midpoint of this mug, right? And I had to finagle it to get it to work that way. So let me show you guys how I did that. By the way, don't forget this coupon right here is $25 off your next $100 order. Yes, $25 off your next $100 order. Just type it in or call your sales rep and they will apply that $25. Okay, so let's go back to Corel. Here we are. All right, so I have this artwork, which is called Iron Trivet, and then I have the this is a TUM 215. This is actually my most favorite mug. The TUM 215, this is the template for it. So what I'm going to do, so I've got my, you can see I've got my, it's called Iron Twist. I've got my artwork, I've got my template, and I just want to line them up. So I'm going to click on this, hold down Shift, click on my template, hit C to center and E to align, okay? And then I'm going to click off. I'm going to click back on my artwork and hit Shift page down so I can send it to the back, so I can see my template in front of my artwork. Okay. And I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller. So what I want to do is I want to match the curve of this art to the curve of this template. And in order to do that in Corel, I'm going to use the envelope tool. So I go over here to envelope. When you click on envelope, you have three settings. You have a unconstrained, you have a straight line, a single arc, and a double arc. Normally, I only use the single arc and the straight line. So for the first one, I'm going to use the single arc. Now, I can move one node at a time. I can hold down Control and move, oops, you got to make sure that's clicked. I can hold down Control and move both sides consecutively, or I can hold down Shift and move, once again, click on the thing. I can hold down Shift and have both sides move in at the same time. So what I want to do is I want to hold down Control and I want to move it up. So make sure it's clicked, single arc mode, hold down Control, click on my node, and I'm basically matching it to the curve. So now my top and bottom curve match the top and bottom curve of this template. But I'm not done yet because I also have these curves on the edge. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my envelope tool. This time I'm going to use my straight edge and I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to pull it out until I have the same amount of space on the bottom and the top. Okay. Shrink it down a little bit. And then I'm going to right click, power clip inside, boom. Now, when I go to print this, my line, because it matches that bottom curve, is going to be straight across the mug. So I can do the same thing, or I can do my text. We'll say LNV. We're just going to use an impact font. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this as I did with my design. I'm going to use my envelope tool. I'm going to use my single arc. I'm going to arc it up. I'm going to arc it down. I'm going to go to my eyedropper, pick this pink, and turn it pink. And there we go. Now it's ready to print and to press. All right. So we're going to do this in Photoshop as well. So in Photoshop, I'm going to open up my template. I'm going to drop my design in it, which is my Iron Twist PSD. Hit enter. I want to put my template on top, so I'm just going to drag it up. Click back on my Iron Twist and hit Control T, which is oh goodness, you guys, I really don't know Photoshop that well. But I know that you hit Control T, I'm just not sure. Transform, that's what it is, transform. So I hit Control T, which gives me my little box around here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to warp. Now, when I warp it, it's a little bit different than Corel, but it's almost the same. So I'm just going to click on my line, draw it up. I have another line here, draw it up. another line here, draw it up, another line here, and oops, draw it up. I'm going to do the same thing on my edges. I'm going to pull my edge out, and then I'm going to use my little bars here to make everything straight. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And guys, if you have an easier way to do this, please let me know. I'm just not very good at Photoshop, and I should be. All right, so I'm going to hit Enter. That's going to lock it in. And then I'm just going to center it in my mug, and then there you go. It does look a little weird, so I hit Control. Let's see. I hit Control T again. Let's do a warp again. I don't like the way this looks. I'm going to change it over here some. There we go. That looks a little better. Yeah, with Photoshop, you guys are just going to have to play with it. I don't know it as good as I do Corel, but I know that that's the gist of it. I also know in Silhouette, it's also the warped tool, not the warped tour, the warped tool. So you can also do it there. All right, guys, I got one more thing to show you, and then we are done until tomorrow. So let's talk about some helpful online resources. These are 5 of the websites that I use all of the time. And we're going to go through them one by one so I can show you what they look like. So let's go here. All right. So my very first one is wordmark.it. This is a fantastic website. So I'm going to type my name in, Sprite, and I'm going to hit Enter. What that does is it gives me every single font I have on my computer. So I can go, okay, I like that one, I can click on it. I like that one, I can click on it. I like that one. Sure, that one looks good. And then I can go to Filter Selected, and it shows me all the ones that I picked. So gone are the days of you hitting the down arrow and letting everything change. Now it'll show you everything you have on your computer right there on the screen. This is one of my most favorite websites ever, ever, ever. Okay, wordmark.it. Use it. It's going to save you so much time. The next one is dafont.com. Normally at this point I would go, how many of you are using dafont.com? Okay, a few, 2 maybe. So this is also a great website. Most of these are free for personal use. A lot of these are free for commercial use. So you just have to look. This is why I like this site so much. So if you look up at the top here, you have all of these different categories. You have fancy, foreign, techno, gothic, basic, script, whatever. So let's say we want a calligraphy script. All right, now I can do the same thing. I can type in my text, and I can hit submit, and it's going to show me my text, what I want it to say, in every single different font. So you see a lot of these are free for personal use, but there's quite a few that are free for commercial use. And then, you know, you can also just donate to the author, and then you can have a license to use it. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love this website. Great website. The next one. All of these websites make me so very excited. We're going to talk about Brands of the World. So Brands of the World is great, especially if you do a lot of marketing for or designing for, you know, large corporations like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, or, you know, when I was a sign maker, we would do like big fishing tournaments, and all of our sponsors, we'd have to put their logos on. And so, you know, I would have to have their logos. Brands of the World has all of those logos. So if you want, let's say Coca-Cola, hard to spell. No, it's not. You know, here is all of the logos for Coca-Cola, and they are free. You know, this one is in an EPS format. You know, and then, you know, it's got terms of use. But it's a really good website to use. Now, we talked about picking colors, picking compared contrasted colors. It's really hard to go, I need 4 colors that match each other. It's almost impossible. So this website makes it possible. This is Coolors, COOLORS.co. And let's talk about this beautiful free website. So you go to start the generator, and what it does is it's going to give you I don't want to watch a tutorial. What it's going to do is it's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors that match each other, that can be used together. So what you do is let's say you like this one, right? You click on the lock button. Let's say you like this one. You click on the lock button, then you hit your space bar, and it's going to give you 3 new colors that match the 2 colors that you locked. Let's say you don't like any of these. Hit it again. Okay, I kind of like this one. Let's lock it. Hit it again. All right, I like this one. And then, so now I have 4 contrasting colors that work good together. So what I do is I click on Adjust. It gives me the HSB value, the RGB value, the CMYK value, and that's really all you need. So gone are the days of guessing which color is going to work with which. So there's a lot of different things you can do on this website. It is one of my most favorite sites. I hope you take advantage of it. So yeah. All right, guys. That's all I got for you today. So join me tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about branding and marketing, and then also some things that you can do to market now, in this kind of uncertain time. We've got some great ideas to kind of help you out. Don't forget the coupon code CPN-NBM2003. That is going to give you $25 off your next $100 order or more. Also, don't forget to check out our Spring Into Savings sale. We have 30 items that are on sale. We've got another coupon code for you there. Reach out to us. Let us know what you're doing. It's a great time to go on our client gallery and upload your images. We have our quarterly gallery contest ends March 31st, so this is the perfect time to show us what you're doing, your spring-themed items. You have a chance to win $400, $200, or $100 twice. So, leave us some reviews. Show us what you're doing. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, guys.